Links to our channel here over at SubScribestar. So following SS Squad Delete the Justice League end of content announcement, Warner Brothers cuts 99 employees from their support studio. How does that happen if it's such a massive success as they said it would be, and it was only a bunch of incel chud Hugo Boss online who were complaining about it and calling it the woke squad. So woke race swapping vagina power doesn't sell. You're telling me this? I had no idea. People call these games woke cancer, and then these bleeding pussy soy boys whine and complain about how istophobic people are. Except that's not a real concept. They just say words, and then when you ask them for a definition, they realize they don't have one, and they just return to attacking you. So soy people love to, well, I mean, they claim to love this cancer, but they don't actually buy the games or watch the movies or the comic books or all the things they say they love. They shut up and take my money when some new gay trans thing comes out, and then it's a massive failure. And you look at the woke crowd and you're like, this stuff is made for you. We're Hugo Boss. We don't watch this kind of stuff. We're into like straight, normal type of things. So, when games, movies, or comics are successful, they make more of them. And this game is so great that they fired 100 people. So congratulations on that. And if I remember correctly, this is the Sweet Baby game where who's that girl, Kim Balar or something? They take a group of trans, furry, two-spirit, pox, walks, vagina enjoyers, and they take a game and they make it woke AIDS and monkeypox sodomy. Then it fails, and they move on like a parasite to a fresh host where they just repeat the cycle. Maybe Larry Finks is selecting the host for them to destroy. So in this game, Wonder Woman, who looks like a man, is given an honorable death because she's a woman, and the male characters are disrespected because they refuse to denounce the cis hetero Frankfurt School, whatever. These people are so fucking annoying. So the players say the game is woke and has gay themes, which nobody's on board with it, and the sodomy flags or something like this. I'm not sure. And it failed, but the obese blue-haired soy people say no. The woke wasn't the problem because woke isn't real, and the players are all istophobic Nazis. People just want fun games where the women look good, where they look like women, and where they are women. Usually you're going to need long hair for that and curves. Some new game has some flat-chested Zim who shaves her head off and is I guess your protagonist, and they turned off the comments. Everyone needs to look good. These are just video games or movies or comics. They're just supposed to have fun, a little bit of escapism. But in something like this that involves canon, it means the historical storyline, and the characters have to be respected because a lot of people grew up reading DC comics or Marvel comics, and they want to see these kind of things continued on. They want to see people stay within the characters that were established. Otherwise, they feel like it's a bait and switch. And no offense, but nobody wants to see a gay flag in a game because that's your weird political belief. And almost nobody's gay, and even fewer people are trans or into that. Or did this game have a BLM flag? Yeah, it's not just people are neutral on that. People actually think that's just more globalist cancer. It's a scam. They took billions of dollars, and some of the money went to the one woman is famous for buying like 4 homes in Southern California, and oddly enough, like nothing happened to her. She just owns those homes in fee simple, and like no district attorney or federal prosecutor investigated. So the BLM thing, it's like, oh, they burned down cities they didn't burn down the whole city. Okay, they murdered people, and they burned down individual buildings, so parts of cities for like 4 years. And stole a bunch of money, and they did nothing for anyone other than a few individuals who grifted off of this. So people are really not on board with BLM. WLM? Yeah, we're absolutely behind WLM. But the gay flag and the other one is pastel colors, and it looks childlike and creepy, if you know what I'm saying. The BLT And what's the other one? BLTP. It's like, what does the P stand for? What does the P stand for? It doesn't stand for precious. So the thing is, nobody wants to see the trans flags. It's not real. It's just political virtue signaling, as is all this kind of stuff. And it's time to get women, especially pox women, out of gaming. Or maybe at this point just double down. No, we want more woke in games. It'd be funny as hell to get like a 4chan thing online to push more woke in games, but then nobody will buy it, and these companies will just, we need more black women, lesbian, trans women of color with extra colors, marginalized and oppressed, to make these games. And the game companies, pushed by Larry Fink, would probably double down on that. Until everything is just bombing and people realize you just have to stop supporting these consumer, globalist, parasitical, baby blood drinking, sacrificial, Moloch worshipping, degenerate companies. So, pox walks people should probably not be involved in games, or anyone who refers to themselves as marginalized and people who wear that on their sleeve as their identity. That's their whole identity. Is Black Girl Gamers did an interview, and it's like 20 minutes of them referring to themselves as marginalized like 24 times. Just, I would love to maybe I'll do a parody bit where I don't know, we talk about us and just do that marginalized, oppressed, all those Frankfurt School buzzwords, disenfranchised and othered, and all this. To talk about black privilege, and you watch their heads snap around. You have to do it on Twitter, and you have to do it very subtly. You have to slip it in there as if you're 100% on board, and it's just like, oh, of course we believe in these concepts. And there's a bunch of other things I can't say on YouTube, just to F with these people a little bit, and you will see people lose their freaking minds. Where's that going with that? Thing is, people who identify themselves as pox, wox, and all these kind of modifying words, we're the marginalized people and we're going to take these games and run it through this Marxist, this Marxist filter. It's like the algebra function box when you learn about function of x in grammar school. Anyone who refers themselves, who thinks of themselves, and it's like, you really think of yourself as marginalized and oppressed? Because they're going to take that political chip on their shoulder into the game. The thing is, and obviously they're going to ruin it, but should women be involved in games or comics or movies? No, not left-wing women, I'll say that. Left-wing people shouldn't be involved. The thing is, left-wing people have always been on this kind of creative, hippy-dippy, fruity type of thing. For sure, and there's, they have, some of them had skills. I think that skills has just been smoked themselves, developmentally disabled, because now it's all politics. But it was never this blatant. It was never this heavy-handed, preachy, where it is now, to the point where it's not just me saying this. Mainstream media is having a massive amount of failure across video games and comics and movies, and even the like CNN and MSNBC and all these shows, where there were some chicks on NPR were talking about what's the loss of respect for mainstream media, and you look at them, it's like, because you're all left-wing people. There's no equal representation on mainstream media. There's nobody as far right as these people are far left, and they look at you like, well, yeah, of course. Why would we? We don't want diversity of thought. We don't want fair and impartial and unbiased coverage of news. It's like, we're just propagandists. It's like, okay, well, now people are not watching, and they're watching alternative sources of news for some sort of balance. It's like the mainstream media, all they had to do was be fair and impartial, but obviously they can't. And the thing is, as someone pointed out, they're accelerating now because they know what's coming on the horizon for them. But I mean, they're declining, and that's not going to change. They're going to lose market share. I thought it was going to happen more in 2028, but it actually happened in 2024 with the election coverage, where people were watching Louder with Crowder and Dan Bongino on Rumble and Odyssey and DLive and YouTube, where there's probably 100 million people watching alternative media on election night and not watching mainstream media. And the mainstream media has to say, oh, no, you guys need to watch us. And you look at them like, why would we watch you? Nobody holds you accountable. You lie all the time. You lie and you support governments that openly lie to people. The past 4 years of that little woo-flu when Biden and Walensky and Rachel Maddow and Anderson Cooper literally lied. They made material misrepresentations of reality. And the media covered up for all those people. Sponsored by, you know what they're sponsored by. So no, anyone who has a modifier before their name, one of those political Bolshevik Frankfurt schools modifiers, should not be involved in anything. And if they are, you need more people like Sweet Baby Detective to point these douchebags out and say, hey, these people are ruining game. Oh, wait, I'm going to show this Wonder Woman. There you go. Darker than I envisioned. More masculine also. And where are her titties? It's okay. Who is it? Linda Carter? Linda Hamilton? To give her some titties. Make her, and also make her look like a woman and not a man. This is the thing is, the customer does not believe in all this kind of woke stuff because, I mean, none of it's real. It's all just Saul Alinsky. It's the same 150-year-old Moses Mordecai Levy teachings that have failed for the past 100 years. It's all nonsense. These people are not marginalized or oppressed. The only people in America who are European people, especially men and Christians. The proof is that they're actively being discriminated against, and that's in the West entirely. The most marginalized and oppressed people worldwide are Christians around the world, or even, I think it's UNICEF or the UN was coming out and talking about that, and the left wing loses their mind over that. These sweet baby girls are literally only given this job because they're useful idiots of color for Larry Fink. That's their whole identity. They're dumb. They do interviews, and they you can hear them speak for themselves. All they're doing is parroting these buzzwords. They don't actually say anything. And you look at them, you're like, okay, that's great, but it's not really probative and relevant to the issue at hand. And they look at you like, wait, what's the issue at hand? Selling the fucking video games. That's the issue at hand. For everything you're trying to do, you're trying to sell to the customer. You get that, right? It's a contractual exchange, a promise for performance. There's an end user. They go, oh, no. We're not selling comics to the customer. We sell to the retail stores. Yeah, you fucking idiots. They sell to the customer. Oh, no. We just stop. The chain of causation stops when we sell to the retailer. But if the customer doesn't buy it, they go out of business, you idiots. Surely it doesn't take me to explain this. I realize this video is a little bit all over the place. Anyway, so they fired 100 people. So congratulations. Let them be free. Let them breathe. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.